but I felt really bad for Anthony, and that's just, I mean, that's a tough situation right there, and he's thrown the ball really well for us this year so far. He had last night was a little rough, but that was more the exception than the norm for him, and it's just a shame when accidents happen.
Well, and there's been an incredible string of bad luck. How do you stay positive and keep the guys staying positive through just a situation that you don't really expect?
Yeah, well, we just, I mean, first of all, from a manager standpoint, you focus on the guys that you have here because that's what you have to do. Those are the guys that are going to play, and we try to keep, we just try to keep everything moving forward. Try to keep the guys having fun as most we can, and we keep playing hard, and hopefully some good things will come out of it. But I mean, it has been an extraordinarily strange first half, to say the least, and I think with all the transactions we've made now, we're probably pushing mid-60s at this point. So basically, it's like one a day when you break it down. So it's been a little crazy, but hopefully this was our half to experience that stuff, and things will settle down.
You get Brian Patton's back tonight, and seeing him on the field earlier today. How's he doing?
I thought he did fine. He took batting practice and ground balls the last couple of days, and today he actually ran some bases and did some sprints, and he said he felt fine. So we're gonna get him in there tonight, and just see what happens.
Also, adding a reliever in Tony Pena, he was able to get in here and throw yesterday. What do you think he can add to your bullpen?
Well, obviously, he's a former big leaguer, and his bullpen was really good yesterday. He kept the ball down. He had command of multiple pitches, and the way it worked out with Manzanillo leaving, and obviously some other things happening now with LaRue and having to revamp some of the relievers. It was kind of good timing that he was actually here, and we were able to get him on board.
One thing last night, Calderon goes deep again. Nash hits his first. With those, and I know you brought those guys in to make a potential impact in the middle of the order. If they get going, what can it do for everybody else in the lineup?
Well, one thing it can do, we can help clear our bases off when we have guys on them. That's a good thing. But when you have guys that are swinging the bat well, it makes it good for the guys that are hitting in front of them, because pitchers don't want to put guys on in front of guys that are hitting well. So hopefully, those guys can keep it going, and Ferdinand has done a good job. I think Boggs has swung the bat well lately, and Patterson had 3 hits last night. So I think things are starting to come around in that regard, and the hitting last night, 5 runs and 12 hits or whatever it was, that's a good offensive night actually for production. And now we just have to try to put it all together on a more regular basis, so we can get some more numbers in the W column.
Well, lastly tonight, you've got Matt Neal. He's looking to bounce back. What's the biggest key that you're looking for from him here tonight?
I want him to attack the hitters and keep the ball down. That's what I want. So be aggressive and trust your stuff, all the things that we tell pitchers every day. Just, believe in what you're doing and go out there and be aggressive and compete. And that's all you can ask guys to do. And, then everything else takes care of itself from there.
All right, Mace, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you.
And a massive crowd on hand here tonight at Santander Stadium. Our national anthem is complete, and Matt Neal set to go into his warm-up. Starting lineup for the Skeeters tonight, brought to you by Flying Feet. They will have Denny Almonte leading off in center field. Ryan Adams, who made his debut for them last night, is at second base, batting second. It'll be Delwyn Young, who homered from both sides of the plate last night. He will DH and bat third. In the cleanup spot is first baseman Travis Scott. And Joe Benson, who they just added today, they literally announced his signing about an hour before game time. He will be in right field and hitting fifth, thrown in there right away. And in fact, they could use that position player since Patrick Palmeiro was dinged up last night. It'll be Benson in right field hitting fifth. Johan Lamonte is in left field. He will bat sixth. Kevin Russo at shortstop hit seventh. Chris Wallace will do the catching and hit eighth. And Amadeo Zazueta is the third baseman tonight, batting ninth. Again, it's Almonte, Adams, Young, Scott, Benson, Lamonte, Russo, Wallace, and Zazueta for the Skeeters. Facing Matt Neal, who's set to go and looking to bounce back after the last couple of outings. Before that, he had been going on a consistent stretch of quality starts. Tonight, his 17th outing of the year, his 9th start. 2-5, an ERA of 4.85 overall. And Denny Almonte named the K-Man tonight to lead things off. Our Dasher Investment Services first pitch is just outside, and we are underway. 6:30 start, right on the nose. Wide and the 1-0, and he swings and fouls it back. Almonte hitting at .201. 5 home runs, 15 driven in. He is the league leader with 85 strikeouts. Pitch, swing and a miss. Good fastball from Neal. And Almonte, who's been batting exclusively from the left side of the plate this series. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. We start the game with breadsticks. A curve in the dirt. De La Cruz smothered it and tags him out. And how's that for a way to start? One down here in the top of the first. And a much better selection in the control room than last night, boys. Didn't go so well last night. Here's Ryan Adams, who will make his second game appearance / start with the Skeeters. He made his debut yesterday. And Neal delivers. And it's a called strike, outside corner. Adams 1 for 5. He had an RBI single early in the game last night. In fact, in his first Sugarland at bat. The 0-1. And a check swing. He trickles one toward first. Neal will pick up, and he underhands to first in time. And 2 away. It stayed fair on a check swing, and Perez stayed at first base, the right decision. And Neal able to get to it. And if he fumbled, he'd have had a real problem. He had to pick it up cleanly, and he did so barehanded, didn't panic, and underhanded it off. So 2 away, and here's Delwyn Young, who was a catalyst last night, a home run from both sides of the plate. First pitch tonight, a fastball. It's a called strike. As he bats from the left, the switch hitter now has 6 home runs on the year. The pitch, and it misses high. Hitting it .241. 3 for 5 with 2 home runs last night. On the pitch, and it's in the dirt and skips away. Revs in the home whites, the navy caps. Sugarland in the alternate black jerseys with royal blue numbers and side trim. Pitch to Young is ripped and a base hit to right. Brandon Boggs over toward the corner to glove it. And he'll toss it back in. Now a 2-out single for Young, who, as we mentioned, had 3 hits last night. And has one in the first inning tonight. Has not done nearly what he did last season throughout the course of this first half, but he may be starting to heat up. Certainly the last several at-bats he has. Here's Travis Scott, and he swings, got jammed, punches it on the ground to third. Brian Pounds back in the lineup tonight, his first chance, and he throws him out. Perez stepped off the bag to receive the throw, but no problem getting the tag on Scott, who was right there in front of him. No runs on 1 hit and 1 left, and a good start for Matt Neal in the top of the first. At the end of the half inning, it's the Skeeters nothing, and the Revs coming up.
Runners know the challenge. It's not the uncompromising weather. It's not the pounding repetition. It's not knowing how to dig deep as you start the climb of that last hill. For runners, the challenge is the discipline to keep running. Flying feet. Casual runners, amateur runners, hardcore runners, no matter what level runner you are, Flying Feet Sports Shoes is with you every step of the way. Over the years, Flying Feet has become the leader in athletic footwear and properly fitting the feet of runners throughout Central PA. For those searching for that discipline, Flying Feet provides the latest shoe innovations, the accessory equipment, and the inspiration to keep on running. Greg Baum and his staff have the knowledge and the true understanding of what running is all about. As one local runner put it, Flying Feet's family, and all runners are welcome. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes, 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83 next to Battery Warehouse.
Looking for a break from the same old company outing this year? Well, look no further than the York Revolution in Santander Stadium. An event with the York Revolution is 0% more expensive than your typical room rental at a traditional venue, but it's 100% more fun. Whether it's an employee appreciation picnic or a company meeting, the staff at the York Revolution will create an experience like no other, with the same cost as a boring meeting. To find out more, give Kaylee Swanson a call at 801-4498. That's 801-4498.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Hip, hip.
Matt Neal is scoreless first. Revs come to bat, facing right-hander Shane Lukes. And we will set the lineup here. At first chance, it'll be Shannon Wilkerson to lead things off. He's back in the lineup tonight after a night off last night, and Lukes' first pitch is over for a strike. Wilkerson hitting at .272 coming in with a home run and 13 driven in. The 0-1, and he swings and drives one high and deep in left center. It is caught by Johan Lamonta right in front of the fence. Shannon Wilkerson just missed a leadoff home run, and Lamonta the grab, reaching up high above his cap, almost toward the top of that fencing. Came up just a couple of feet short. On the second pitch from Lukes, Wilkerson almost took him out. Here's Eric Patterson, who takes down low. Patterson last night, his first 3-hit game since May 12th. The 1-0. And he swings and pops one a mile up. At first base, Travis Scott. He'll give way to Adams coming over from second. And he nearly botched it, but reaches out and makes the play. The wind is out toward right center tonight, and Adams had to turn and reach toward the outfield as it came down, but he gloved it cleanly. No Lukes with 2 outs on a matter of 4 pitches. And Nick Ferdinand to the plate next. The Revs lineup brought to you by Flying Feet. Wilkerson in center, Patterson at second, Ferdinand is in left. First pitch is down and away. Jacob Calderon cleaning up. He will DH. Brandon Boggs in right field hits fifth, and Andres Perez at first will hit sixth. The ball that just missed down and away, 2-0. The latter three tonight, Luis De La Cruz catching, Brian Pounds at third, and Wilson Valdez at short. It's a called strike over the inside part of the plate. 2-1 to Ferdinand. And Lukes delivers, and it just missed inside. Again, Wilkerson, Patterson, Ferdinand, Calderon, Boggs, Perez, De La Cruz, Pounds, and Valdez. Now a swing and a ground ball to short. Right there is Russo. Gloves cleanly and throws to first to end the inning. It is a 1-2-3 for Shane Lukes, who needs just 9 pitches to get through it. We've played one tonight. It's the Revs nothing and the Skeeters nothing.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
I'm Melissa. I teach 10th grade English.
And I'm Melissa when she was in 10th grade at Connections Academy.
That was the year my teachers changed the way I looked at literature.
Our class discussions opened my eyes.
At Connections Academy, the great courses and personal attention really made a difference.
I'm more confident.
My Connections Academy teachers inspired me so much, I became one myself.
I better read faster.
Connections Academy, the tuition-free online public school for grades K through 12. Visit connectionsacademy.com.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Top of the second, no score. Joe Benson will make his Sugarland debut, leading off as Matt Neal misses just a hair down and away to start off things. Benson just signed today. And the 1-0 from Neal is over the outside corner for a strike. He flew into Baltimore and arrived earlier. Former second-round pick of the Twins. He was in spring training with the Braves. He swings and foul tips one into the glove of De La Cruz. Good slider from Neal, who's ahead 1-2. Benson, a season in the majors with Minnesota in 2011. And a curveball just missed, a hair high 2-2. Plate ump tonight is Tom Gandolfo, the Wizard. Buzz Albert at first, Dave Shirk at third. And Neal winds and fires. And a curveball bounce foul over along the third base side. Benson, a 27-year-old. 21 games in the majors in 2011. He hit .239. In the minors, a career .253 hitter. On the pitch, swung on and tapped foul at the plate. And they really needed position players. They came in last night with one on the bench, Chris Wallace. He had to play. When Patrick Palmero left after being hit in the hands with a pitch. Now Neal shakes off, and time will be asked for by Benson. Tonight, Palmero out of the lineup, and so is Willie Taveras. On the 2-2. Swing and a miss. They wanted it in. It ended up being away. And Benson with a huge hack, but came up empty. And Neal with his second strikeout of the night. One away here in the top of the second. Bring up Yohan Lamonte. Limo entered this series hitting .220 with Sugarland, but had a hit here Monday night and a 3-for-5 game last night. And he tries to bunt his way on and fouls it back as it bangs off the facade above our press box, just over to our left. Hey, Matt, do you need new pants, or are you okay? You're okay? Are you going to catch it? Matt on Revs TV was all over that. Is the ball a little bit low, 1-1. Now Lamonte overall hitting at .223. Pitch. And he swings and lines one the other way and down for a hit in front of Ferdinand in left. So he is now 5 for 9 in this series here in York. A one-out base runner, Kevin Russo, coming up. Overall numbers for Neal, 59 in the third innings, 69 hits, 10 walks, 41 Ks. Opponents have hit .294. And out of the stretch, he comes home and nails the outside corner, a called strike. Russo batting .274, but against the Revs, he's hit .377 in 14 games. And Lamonte goes, Neal steps off, he'll throw, and the tag, and got him. Patterson from second applies the tag, and Lamonte is caught stealing by Neal, attempting to run before Neal had even made a move. And they got his attention. He stepped off without a flinch, which is easier said than done when you know a runner is going. Made the throw, and Patterson tags him out. Now back to the windup, and a cutter sails wide on Russo. It's a ball and a strike. You don't want to flinch or you'd balk when you hear your teammates hollering that he's going. Neal kept his composure. Next one is down and away. It's 2 balls and a strike. Now the base is empty, 2 outs. No score here in the second. Neal the wind and the pitch. And a swing and a foul back. That'll spill out of the upper deck. It's 2-2. Great atmosphere tonight. And a huge crowd on this Wednesday evening. Here's the wind, the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. It'll sneak slightly through De La Cruz. He's on it and tosses down to first to end the inning. A partial block on that ball in the dirt. He kept it close and makes the throw. And Neal with a pair of strikeouts. The caught stealing helps him through the inning in 1-2-3 fashion. 1 base hit given up, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless.
Broadway transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They towed in my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man.
I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. With a full spectrum of care, including sports nutrition, concussion management, orthopedic surgery, and physical therapy, our winning team can help you prevent an injury or treat one. For immediate care, call 1-877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
No score, bottom of the second inning. And Jacob Calderon will lead things off. What a tear he's been on, blasting home runs in back-to-back games. A tape measure shot last night as he takes inside. Also walked twice and had an RBI single last night. He enters play tonight hitting at .327. Pitch is in at the knees, a strike called. .327, 3 home runs, 10 driven in 14 games. Pitch, and he swings and slices one into left center, another hit. Now Calderon sprays it toward the middle, slightly the other way, and is a leadoff base runner. 17th hit in 15 games played. He's now reached safely in 6 of his last 7 trips to the plate. Four hits in his last 5 official at-bats. Here's Brandon Boggs, named to the All-Star team today. He swings first pitch and pops it up. At short, Russo will give way to Adams, who again has a little adventure, but puts it away. Adams, the second baseman, drifting out onto the grass in shallow center and hauling it in, although a long reach was required, just like his play in the first inning over behind first base. One down. Here's Andres Perez, who will also be remaining in Bridgeport to play in the All-Star game next week. The Revs will finish the first half in Bridgeport this weekend. And Luke's the stretch. First offering is over for a strike. Perez coming in, hitting at .252, 3 home runs, 29 knocked in, 10 hits away from tying James Shank's club record. His next one will tie Scott Grimes for second as he swings in a foul tip, squeezed here, 0-2. Last night, did not play for the first time all year. There were a couple of times in rainouts that he was not in the lineup, but he had kept his games played streak active. There's the 0-2, and he swings and fouls it off, first base side. He had started the first 51 games. He started all but one until last night. He had played in the first 64 games, but did not see action last evening. 1 on, 1 out, scoreless in the second. Here's the 0-2. And a breaking ball bounced to third. Up on it is Zazueta to second for 1. Perez beats the turn to first and keeps the inning alive. Fielder's choice, 2 away. Talvin Nash, who homered last night, not in the lineup tonight. He was a little tight after some of the splits he had done at first and a hard slide to break up a double play last night, so they'll hold him out tonight. Although he did carry his glove and his bats to the dugout on the way down this evening, so looks as though one of those situations where if they really needed him, he could, but play it safe with him for the day. As Lukes throws over, Perez is back standing. Luis De La Cruz heading to the All-Star game. He steps in here. And Luke's the pitch. Ennis swinging a chopper, hit softly to third. Zazwaita charges, throws on the run. It's in the dirt, and Travis Scott backhands it out. Makes a slick play over at first to end the inning. Leadoff single is left on, and we head to the third tonight. No score.
And now a baseball tutorial from Maple Donuts.
The single.
Grabbing your favorite maple donut for breakfast.
The double.
Grabbing an extra maple donut for later.
The brush back.
Brushing the white off your shirt after biting into a fresh powdered sugar maple donut.
The ground rule double.
Quickly retrieving the 2 maple donut holes that got away.
What? 5-second rule. Charlie Donut and the Boys of Summer have a winning lineup waiting for you right now at Maple Donuts. Pick up a fresh hot cup of Maple Donuts famous coffee and one of Charlie Donut's 58 varieties. The perfect double play combination.
The steal.
Opening the box only to discover that someone stole your favorite maple donut.
Hey.
The home run.
Showing up at work with a Maple Donuts Baker's Dozen.
Maple Donuts taste right with the tasty bread. Anytime, day or night, for appetite delight. Maple Donuts taste right.
Joel's Painting and Contracting is a proud sponsor of the York Revolution. They are also a partner in the maintenance of Santander Stadium. Joel's Painting and Contracting is the highest rated painting company in York and Lancaster County. Now is the time to call for great deals on all your interior and exterior projects. A community partner with thousands of happy clients. Hit a home run of Joel's Painting and schedule an appointment today or give them a call at 717-471-4273. That's 717-471-4273 for Joel's Painting and Contracting.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
No score. We go to the third. Paul Braverman joins me in booth. Good evening, Paul.
What's up, Darryl? Nice Wednesday crowd, huh?
Heck of a Wednesday night crowd we've got here. It's awesome.
A lot of people are getting their holiday weekend started early, as they should.
Very nice night. Chris Wallace will lead things off. Homered in the game last night. And Neal the pitch. He swings here and skies it to right. It'll send Boggs back deep toward Cannonball. Reaches up. He's got it as he bangs into the wall padding in right. Hello, Yorktown Hotel sign. And Boggs the catch a step before he made contact with the pads and hangs on to it. He bounced right off and fired it back into the infield.
It's matching Limo's catch. When it happened, I said, there you go. The best catch he's ever going to make in this stadium, and it's for the other team. I mean, that's just the kind of season it's been. He didn't even play left field for us.
Here's Zazwaita. He takes slightly high. A lot going on today, Paul. We had the All-Star announcement, and unfortunately the news with LaRue, but Pounds comes back, a new reliever added as Neal misses high here. It's 2-0. Big crowd here tonight with everything going on. The 2-0, and that misses upstairs. So you have to lose the hat.
It's a little humid.
Zazwaita and then Almonte at the top of the order. Neal winds the 3-0, and that's over for a strike. Zazwaita 265 at the plate. A home run, 15 knocked in. The 3-1, and he slaps it the other way. Patterson will cut it off, ranging to his left, and he'll stop and make the short toss on to first. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. No score here early tonight. Now we go to the top of the order and Denny Almonte. I know we've had Bread 6 strikeouts to open a game before. I just can't remember how long it's been, but a nice way to open the night. He was the K-man and did strike out as Neal misses in the dirt on the first one this time.
It's a lot better than the K-man getting 3 hits. Like, I feel like it's usually gone this season. Limo didn't take kindly to the K-man moniker in his return last night.
Here's a line drive and a base hit to center. Now Almonte a 2-out single back up the middle. And the Skeeters have had a base hit in each of the first 3 innings, all singles.
Speaking of Limo, he's sitting on the garbage can in the dugout. That can't be the most comfortable seat, opposed to leaning over the rail or just sitting on the bench. I think that's him.
Yeah, that's him.
That's a little bizarre.
Here's Ryan Adams, who check swung and hit a little tapper that Neal handled in the first. Almonte can run. And Neal delivers, and it's a slider for a called strike. Almonte 14 steals and 19 tries. And their other big speed threat, Willie Taveras, is not in tonight's lineup. And with Benson's arrival, they finally have 2 on their bench, but perhaps Palmeiro not available this evening. There's a fastball just outside, 1-1. He had stayed in last night, but eventually was pinch hit for by Wallace in the 5th. Now Neal in the stretch. And the 1-1. That's a little bit high. Adams, who briefly was in the majors with the Orioles a few years back, just joined the Skeeters at the start of this series, and then Benson signs with them today. The 2-1, and a swing and a miss. And it looked like Adams was looking toward left field as he finished. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Adams had 29 games with the Orioles in 2011, and then they drafted a certain infielder named Manny Machado, and suddenly they didn't have a lot of room for other infielders in that organization anymore. I wonder why. It's almost as if they knew they drafted a major league player that day.
Neal holds the 2-2. Breaking ball missed high. He'll go to a full count. And Almonte will have the head start. Trying to keep things scoreless here in the 3rd tonight.
You talked to a number 1 overall draft pick the other day.
I did. We didn't talk about much baseball, but a memorable conversation with the straw. Neal ready. Payoff pitch. Down and away. Just missed. Now Adams works the walk. And now he's got to face Delwyn Young with 2 men on, and he has heated up, it has seemed, here the last couple of nights.
The 2 ancient broadcasters I worked with in Toledo, they remember in the early 80s after Strawberry was drafted, and he got to AAA fairly quickly, and the Mets affiliate was in Norfolk back then, but they were known as the Tidewater Tides before they were the Norfolk Tides. And they remembered Strawberry playing in the International League all that time ago, and it was as if it was a major leaguer playing against college kids at that level. I mean, he could have probably gone right from high school to the big leagues. He was that good.
Yeah.
But just to keep up appearances and to not completely rush it, he made a token couple of seasons worth of appearances in the minor leagues, kind of like A-Rod. I mean, A-Rod could have done the same thing, and he played a token half a season for the Calgary Cannons once upon a time in the PCL.
All about appearances.
Yeah. Mark Pryor, too. He was a college guy, but he could have gone straight to the big leagues, but he spent a minute in the minors. But Mike Leake of the Cincinnati Reds, he went right from Arizona State right to the big leagues. No minor leagues.
Well, Fletch spending a visit here before they face Delwyn Young, and the first pitch is low and in. Young a single his first time up after last night, going 3 for 5 with homers from both sides of the plate. Big spot here early in this game. Down the stretch, and the 1-0, that's down low. Had the first 2 outs of the inning. Almonte singled, and then Adams worked out the walk. And now in a bit of trouble, a 2-0 count to Young. There's the stretch from Neal. And the pitch. That's in the dirt. De La Cruz blocks it. Travis Scott is waiting on deck.
I'm quietly stewing at what a attendance streak we'd be on had it not been for the rain out on Saturday night, because we had a huge crowd on Sunday. pretty good crowd the last 2 nights, and then another gigantic crowd tonight, and now a weekend crowd with the holiday on Friday, the federal holiday, that is.
3-0 is high, so Young will walk, and that will load them for Travis Scott.
Unfortunately, we don't control the rotation of the earth.
No, Saturday would have been the biggest of them all. But
yeah, I mean, it's been a big homestand. A lot of fans realizing it's summer and they hadn't been out to a ball game yet. We come to that realization a long time before June.
Yeah.
I think we start envisioning fans in here about New Year's Day pretty much.
Here's Scott, and he takes a strike as Neal fires one right in. Jammed him in the first, got him to ground out to third base. He'll hit with a bases loaded situation this time. The 0-1 and a breaking ball missed high. Neal trying to pry his way out of this third inning jam. Has his sign. And the 1-1 swung on, a broken bat, loop to right. Boggs hustling, he slid for it, can't make the play. 2 runs will score on it, and Sugar Land leads 2-0 as Travis Scott breaks his bat and dumps one in front of Boggs, sliding effort in right. A 2-run single, and the Skeeters draw first blood with a 2-out rally here in the third. And the walk to Adams is the one that maybe hurt the most, as then you had to face Young in a big spot. You want to be careful there the way he's swinging, and then going after Scott.
I mean, you just don't see walks out of Matt Neal. I mean, his trademark is his control.
Here's Joe Benson, and the first one is just outside to him.
He's not a guy that'll gas it up there at 95, but I mean, he always hits his spots, and I mean, we've seen outings where he's thrown 100 pitches and has 70 or 75 strikes. I mean, he's just always in the zone. So to walk back-to-back batters, that's just totally uncharacteristic.
Pitch is a little low, 2-0. First and third here. Broken Bat was brought to you by Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. If you've got an ash tree, then you have an EAB concern. Get in touch with the experts. Find them online at heritagelawnandlandscape.com. The 2-0 swung on and fouled away, right field side. Yeah, Neal for his career averages under 2 walks per 9 innings. So that certainly is a rarity. Young went first to third as Boggs deflected it on the sliding effort. At the corners, 2-1, and a called strike. He paints the corner away from Benson to even the count. Struck him out the first time around. And now ready. And the 2-2 swung on and lined to left center for a hit. Delwyn Young in to score. Scott trying to go first to third. Ferdinand threw it to second and missed his spot badly. It goes right to first where Andres Perez is. And that allows Benson to take an extra base as well. 3-0. And now it's second and third. And he was rounding first the whole way, so they'll give him a double. He didn't stop. RBI double, and it's 5 straight that have reached with 2 outs. 3 of them have scored.
Benson had 21 games in the big leagues with the Twins a couple of years ago. That's his only big league time.
Here's Johan Lamonte. He pops the first one up. Perez down from first to the infield grass to make the catch, and the inning's over. But Sugar Land rallies after they had bases empty with 2 outs, and they end up scoring 3. 4 hits in the inning. Or check that, 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 men left. We go to the bottom half of the third. It's 3-0 Sugar Land.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Waking up America like no one else. The Ducks beat your Hawks 2-1. Your Hawks. I'm just saying your Hawks. I got nothing against Anaheim. We're friendly to Bruce Boudreau, our former coach of the Caps. Sure. But my agent is a Hawks fan who lives in Chicago, and my buddy lawyer Dave is from Chicago, and he's a Hawks fan.
And our new local guy, Danny Z, is a Chicago guy.
I know I'm going to root for the boss's team whenever possible.
See, Bus, I love those Blackhawks too. Go Hawks.
Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
Revs trail 3-0 as they come to bat here in the bottom of the third. Brian Pounds, welcome back to the lineup tonight. He will lead off. And Luke's with the pitch. It's over for a strike. Pounds had felt some knee discomfort on June 22nd in Lancaster, a strained meniscus. He went on the inactive list the following day, and he swings here and lines one into right center, and it's a hit. Rolling toward the gap, it takes until the warning track for Almonte to cut it off, and Pounds is in with a double on his first swing and second pitch seen back in the lineup. They'll ease him back in somewhat, hitting him 8th tonight, but right back into the swing of things in his first at bat.
That's a former Mud Hen getting a double off a former Mud Hen. There, I got it in. I got it in, and now we're done.
Here's Wilson Valdez.
Once upon a time, Shane Lukes was going to play for the Revolution, right?
Yes, he was.
The 2007 inaugural season, right?
That's right.
And he played quite a few big league games after that, even though he never played for us.
Valdez shows a bunt, takes a strike. Yeah, he was ruled to be not healthy enough in spring training of 07, so he shut it down for that year and was in the big leagues the following year with the Angels. He had been in the majors previously with the Tigers. He comes home, and Valdez taps one back to him on one big hop. Luke's gloves, throws to first, and Pounds unable to advance.
Here's a statistic that's not completely useless regarding Toledo. Shane Lukes is the modern era all-time Toledo Mud Hens win leader. I think that's from 1965 forward with their affiliation with the Twins and Tigers. So he was a big man on campus there. I remember seeing his bobblehead all over the ballpark.
What would constitute their old era?
They didn't have a team for about a decade.
Oh.
And then they were back in the mid-'60s when they were a Twins affiliate and then the Tigers. And they had known for producing a lot of future Tigers, but there were some Twins that played there as well. Kirby Puckett, most notable among them. Some big-name Twins as well.
Here's Shannon Wilkerson. Luke's missed with a curve away on him. Wilkerson trying to get the Revs on the board. Valdez was trying to hit behind Pounds and move him up, but he bounced it right back to the pitcher. So trying to get him in with one out now. The 1-0. And it's over a little above the belt, a called strike. Revs have been hurt by big innings. They trail 3-0. And in 9 of the last 11 losses, they've allowed an inning of 3 runs or more. They're hoping to not have that become 10 of 12 losses tonight.
looking to get one back. The pitch, and Wilkerson yanks one foul into the stands in left. A line drive, but a little bit early on it. 1-2. Here's a stat, Paul, that just blows my mind. Since June 6th, when the Revs score 4 or more runs, they are just 3-7.
Oof.
And overall for the year, with 4 or more runs, those are the ones that should be enough offense. They're only 17-16, and at home 6-11. Pitch to Wilkerson is inside. He dances out of the way.
Well, I mean, you even saw it in the win the other night. We get 8 shutout innings from Logan Williamson. We can only score 1 run. Luckily, we won that game, but we've had a lot of those go against us this year. You know, last night we hit a couple bombs and give up 9. You just can't get it all on the same page yet. I don't think anybody hates our lineup. Certainly nobody hates our starting staff, but you can't do one or the other, as I should say. This guy can't pitch good half the time, you know. as he famously said, you know, everybody has to get on the same page and perform at the same time.
Ball down and away, makes it a full count on Wilkerson. They're nearly led off in the first inning with a home run. Lamonta caught it practically against the fence in left center, reaching up.
Turned into Jerry Rice out there over the shoulder.
And Wilkerson lines this one toward the corner, but just foul again.
I got to say, with all due respect, I did not see Lamonta Willie Mazing a Vic Wirtz fly ball over the shoulder like that to rob what would have been a double at least, maybe a triple off Wilkerson's bat.
And of course, tonight the wind's a little bit left to right. If not for that, he probably has a leadoff home run.
There is a York connection in that 1954 World Series reference.
Yes.
That famous over-the-shoulder catch Willie Mays made at the Polo Grounds. Vic Wirtz, the guy who hit it for Cleveland, York native.
He's swinging a fly ball to right. Benson in a couple of steps, and he'll squeeze it. That Pounds will stay at second now with 2 outs, and Eric Patterson will try to bring him home. 3-0 Sugarland here in the third. Well, one thing, Paul, I was kind of thinking about, I know that the Skeeters told Lamonta to just take a breath. You're starting over with a new average with us. You're not carrying the 200 with York any longer. I'm wondering if it can be the same thing for the Revs when the second half begins. Take a deep breath, guys. You're no longer 20 games under 500. You're 0-0.
It's going to have to be.
It's
going to have to be. Otherwise, you know, you're going to have some frank discussions about not having the season you thought you would if this team doesn't get off to a 6-4 type start to begin the second half or better.
Curveball on Patterson misses away. Luke's retired him on a pop-up in the first inning. Luke's into his stretch. And the 1-0. It is a called strike. He hits Wallace's glove on the outside corner.
I mean, guys can play for themselves and play for their career and play as a team at the same time. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. But you want to be playing to win in August, not playing as an audition for spring training next year for scouts. I mean, that's why you're a competitor.
Change up away, 2-1. Well, Patterson could be a big piece of the puzzle. You went through your roughest stretch without him. He's one coming back. Pounds just got back. Mikey Reynolds still to get back. And then a host of new guys recently injected into the lineup. The 2-1, swing and a miss, a changeup from Luke's. Patterson last night, his first 3-hit game since May 12th. And when the dust settles, you'll start the second half with a much different lineup than the one that had struggled most of the first half. Trying to get home Pounds after the leadoff double. He still stands at second base. On the stretch, the 2-2, and a swing and a miss. Went up and in with a fastball and strikes him out. And two things that have really hurt the Revs this season rear their ugly head in one inning. 2-out rallies given up, and the Revs' inability to get runners in in scoring possession. The leadoff double is wasted. Paul will have the call as we go to the fourth. It's a 3-0 Sugar Land lead.
Core Design Group, a local architectural and structural engineering firm, is celebrating 10 years of serving its partners in York County and beyond. Core specializes in commercial, healthcare, houses of worship, industrial, higher education, and residential. For more information, visit our new website at www.core-designgroup.com or call 717-741-2046.
Whether it's for sport, protection, or recreation, Spar Firearms is the best place to go for all of your firearm needs. With a large selection of new and used firearms, Spar carries an array of brands, as well as ammo and other accessories. Whether you're an avid collector, sharpshooting expert, hunter, or weekend enthusiast, Spar Firearms provides everything you need no matter your experience. For the best in convenience, selection, and customer service, visit Spar Firearms, 6108 Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg, and online at sparfirearms.com.
Revolution! Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th. Revolution!
First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the fourth inning, Paul Braverman, glad you could join us for the middle innings tonight on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Unfortunately, the Skeeters come to the plate with a 3-0 lead. Bottom third of their order to up, Kevin Russo, Chris Wallace, and Amadeo Zazueta. Russo steps in, and Matt Neal in his fourth inning of work starts him off with a called strike. 0-1 is the count. All three Skeeters runs in the third, tagging Neal for 3 hits and 2 walks. Here's the 0-1. Hit the other way, blooped, and down, and foul. Almost kicked up chalk behind the bag at first. Rolls harmlessly into the Revolution bullpen. And the count is 0-2. Kevin Russo, drafted by the Yankees in the 20th round of the 06 draft out of Baylor. Made his only major league appearance for the Yankees in 2010, driving in 4 runs and had a stolen base in 31 games played, as primarily a defensive replacement type infielder late in the game. 0-2 pitch, pops it up foul, first base side, and ought to play to stay alive. 0-2 is the count to Russo. Last season was with Detroit in AAA Toledo. Neal deals, swing and a miss, struck him out, high fastball. And Russo can't lay off. 0-2 is Russo. Neal has struck him out swinging both occasions, and Matt Neal with 4 punch-outs on the night. 1 out, nobody on. 3-0 Skeeters here in the top of the fourth, and Sugar Land is out hitting York 5-2. Chris Wallace with a fly out to Brandon Boggs in right field in the third steps in. Another righty to face Matt Neal, the Sugar Land 8-hole hitter. And ball 1 missing high. That's about the height that Russo swung and missed on, but Wallace does not chase high over the plate. Here's the 1-0. Neal fires, and it's popped up into shallow right, down for a hit on 1 hop in front of Boggs. Pun intended, it's a Texas League single for Sugar Land out of Chris Wallace. 1 out hit. We'll bring up Amadeo Zazueta, the well-traveled Atlantic League veteran with his 5th Atlantic League club. He's 0-1 with a ground out to second here tonight. He's at third base. Zazueta entering action tonight, hitting .265, but he's been much, much better as of late. First pitch swinging, pops it up foul behind the screen and out of play. And as you probably heard, bounced off the roof right above us. Here in the broadcast area, Zazueta is hitting .313 in his last 35 games with Sugar Land, with a homer, 4 doubles, and 13 RBI. He has 8 multi-hit games in that time. So that's in his last 35 games. So hitting .265 for the season. He was off to a pretty putrid start way out ahead of that now as he takes a called strike after the foul off. He's quickly behind 0-2. From the stretch with a runner at first, Matt Neal kicks and fires and misses low and away. Tried to get him to chase with 2 strikes. A quality miss from Neal, and the count remains 1-2. Andres Perez back at first base tonight, a night off for Telvin Nash. Perez moves from second to first. He is holding Chris Wallace on after his bloop single with 1 out to right. Here's the 1-2 from Neal. From the stretch, gets the sign from De La Cruz and deals it. Hit hard in the air to center, fairly deep, but backpedaling, seeing it all the way is Shannon Wilkerson, and he makes a nice play on it. Zezueta with the fly out to center, retreating back to first is Wallace. And there's 2 down here in the top of the 4th. Sugarland out to a 3-0 lead over York tonight in the top of the 4th. Top of the order for the Skeeters for the 3rd time tonight already, mostly in part to their 8-batter, 3-run third. Denny Almonte, 1 for 2, struck out swinging, singled and scored in the 3rd. The lefty stands in, Neal deals, popped up. Foul ball, and right behind the Skeeters dugout. Third base side, lands in the crowd. 0-1 the count to Denny Almonte. Sugarland leadoff man hitting .308 as of late. .206 on the year, but hitting .308. 8 for his last 26 in 6 games as the Sugarland leadoff hitter. So he's hit much better at the top of the order than lower in the order. It'll be a 1-1. Neal right down the middle for ball 2. How is that not a strike? My goodness. Thigh high to Almonte over the plate, and I guess it was called low by Tom Gandolfo, home plate umpire. I mean, if anything, it was a bad pitch because he left it up and got too much of the plate. Batter doesn't swing, and then he gets tagged with a ball. 2-1 pitch, diving low and away. Nice pitch by Neal. Swing and a miss, and the count's 2-2. 2-2 offering to Almonte. Runner at first, 2 outs. Neal trying to get out of a hopefully scoreless 4th. And the righty fires. Low and inside. Count is full. Runner moving on the play. The base is stolen by Wallace. Wallace got a big jump. The throw was no contest. Fielded by the shortstop Wilson Valdez. So without a tag, Wallace in with the steal. And it'll be a 3-2 offering to Denny Almonte. Neal will continue to work from the stretch with a man on, although he just had one stolen on him, and now he cannot get on the same page with De La Cruz. So De La Cruz, accompanied by the home plate umpire Tom Gandolfo, will head out to the mound. As long as they only talk signs, there will not be an official visit charged, and there is not an official visit charged. So as long as they're talking something that's not going to get the umpire drilled by missing a sign, they're going to be okay and not get charged with a visit under the pace of play rules. 3-2 pitch on the way, drilled into deep right field. This is going to be a gapper. Bounces off the bottom of the wall. Scoring on a jog from second is Wallace. Almonte cruises into second, standing up with an RBI double, his 16th run batted into the season. 2 for 3 tonight with a run is Almonte, and Wallace scores to make it 4-0 Skeeters here in the 4th. It didn't sound especially impressive off the bat, but off the bottom of the wall on the fly, a gap double for Almonte to bring the run home. 3 in the third, 1 in the 4th for the Skeeters, and they lead the Revolution 4-0, out hitting York 7-2. So same situation, 2 out with a runner at second for Ryan Adams now, 0 for 1 with a ground out, a walk, and a run scored. He'll take a called strike. That's the pitch, albeit to a righty instead of a lefty, that Gandolfo just missed a moment ago. Count is 0-1. Neal continues to work from the stretch, and the 0-1 offering. Looping breaking ball that maybe he did not control all the way out of his hand. Leaves it upstairs. Looked like it might have slipped. 1-1 is the count. Matt Neal is a collegian at Brigham Young University, the former first-team All-Mountain West Conference performer before BYU. Now operates as an independent in football, and they're no longer in the Mountain West. They're in the West Coast Conference with Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and those schools, Portland, Pacific. Anyway, enough college sports talk as Adams grounds to second, scooped up by Patterson, throw to first, no problem. And the Skeeters strand one. That'll do it for the visitor half of the fourth. Revolution trail 4-0 coming up on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Remember when the goal was to see how fast you could run home from school, play 99 straight innings of wiffle ball, or jump up onto anything? At WellSpan Health, we think making time to play is still a great goal. Being healthy is how you get there. And just in case your grown-up body can't keep up with your inner child, WellSpan Orthopedics walk-in injury care is there to help with a team specially trained in treating sprains, strains, and broken bones. If you have a WellSpan primary care physician, your visit is added to your electronic health record so your doctor may coordinate any follow-up care. You never need an appointment, and both our Apple Hill location in York and our new Hanover Orthopedics location are open evenings and weekends. You can get all the details about orthopedic walk-in injury care at wellspan.org/injury. At WellSpan Health, it's our goal to help you get healthy and stay healthy, no matter how old you are or how young you feel.
Laser show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Nick Ferdinand, Jacob Calderon, and Brandon Boggs, 3-4-5 in the Revolution lineup. It's a 4-0 Skeeters lead as Shane Lukes goes back to work. Ferdinand 0 for 1, grounded to short in the first. The righty stands in and off and running in the home half of the fourth with ball one low and away by Lukes. 1 for 4 with a double yesterday was Nick Ferdinand. 14 extra base hits for Nick in 26 games with the Revolution. He's hit safely in 21 of those 26 games. What a find, what a pickup for this club. 1-1 offering, swung at and missed. Bottom dropped out. Ferdinand on top of it. 1-2 is the count. Ferdinand, drafted by the Phillies in 2013, really did not get a long enough opportunity. Just a season and a half playing for their Class A clubs in Williamsport, Lakewood, and Clearwater. But the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, and Ferdinand down on strikes. Guy hitting .316 in the Atlantic League, you wouldn't think would get released out of High A in his second professional season, but unfortunately that was the case for Ferdinand. Jacob Calderon singled in the second, but then was part of a fielder's choice, forced out at second. 1 for 1 nonetheless. The lefty stands in. Calderon has homered in each game of this series. Provided the only run in the 1-0 win over Sugar Land on Monday when Logan Williamson went 8 shutout innings without a walk. And hit another solo shot in the 9-5 loss to the Skeeters last night. He's out ahead 1-0 before a big swing and a miss, and the count is 1-1. And as baseball lingo dictates, this guy does not get cheated on any swings. He swings hard in case he hits it. Nothing wrong with that. Swings hard again here, but drives it right into the ground, bounces foul toward the screen in front of the Revolution dugout on the first base side. So Calderon behind 1-2. The former New York Yankee farmhand. 1-2 offering from Shane Lukes on the way. The righty deals low and away. 2-2 is the count. Calderon with 3 home runs for the Revolution since joining the club a couple weeks ago, 1 in Lancaster and 2 here in Santander Stadium the last 2 nights. It's a slow roller to second, charging it and throwing all in one nice motion is Ryan Adams. Great transfer there to get Calderon by a step at first. 2 up, 2 down here for the Revolution in the bottom of the 4th. The bases are empty and the Skeeters lead it 4-0. Brandon Boggs popped out to second in his only plate appearance tonight. Boggs was 0 for 4 in last night's loss, but did lay down a sac bunt and drove in a run on a ground out. So the lefty Boggs will stand in. Another tough offensive night for the Revolution in the early innings. Lukes starts him off with a called strike. Outside corner to the lefty, and the count is 0-1, although Boggs is a switch hitter, not a straight-up lefty against the righty Lukes. And the 0-1, again missing low and away. 1-1 is the count. Brandon Boggs just 2 for 13 on this homestand, and just 1 for 7 in this series. A low liner off his bat on the 1-1 into center field. Denny Almonte there to squeeze it. And that's the inning, a 1-2-3 inning for Shane Lukes with a strikeout. He has 2 punch-outs on the night. We go to the 5th, Sugarland 4 and York nothing on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
You line your feet up at the edge of the starting block, shake out your arms, and then you push off the block in one fluid motion, fully extending your body, cutting into the water with nothing on your mind but the mechanics. You're a swimmer, and whether it's practice time in the pool or crunch time in a meet, Flying Feet is with you every stroke of the way. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes is a swimmer's paradise. Get suits by Finis, Dolphin, Nike, Adidas, Speedo, Arena, and Tier. Pick up practice gear, team gear, and training equipment like fins, snorkels, and kickboards. The Flying Feet team has high-tech competitive suits, customizable caps, goggles, even goggle repair items. Shower down with swimmer shampoo and body wash, plus suit wash to limit the wear and tear of chlorine. Time to dive into the pool? Then it's time for Flying Feet Sports Shoes. Flying Feet. 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83 next to Battery Warehouse.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 5th begins with Delwyn Young popping one foul, third base side out of play. 0-1 is the count. Matt Neal in his 5th inning of work for the Revolution. The lefty Delwyn, not to be confused with Delman Young, stands back in and does the same thing. Popped up foul into the crowd, third base side. Delwyn, too, is a switch hitter, though. Against the righty Neal, batting lefty. De La Cruz sets up way outside on the plate. Called strike 3, got him looking. De La Cruz knew where he wanted it. And Neal hit the spot. Young, he gambled and lost. That's Matt Neal's 4th strikeout. Striking out Delwyn Young, he of 5 major league seasons with the Dodgers, 06 to 08, and the Pirates, 2009 and 2010. Young, a career .258 major league hitter with 17 homers and 81 RBI in 344 big league games, but Neal strikes him out on 2 foul balls and then caught looking 3 straight pitches. Ball 1 to Travis Scott, the Skeeter first baseman and lefty bat. Swinging and a miss, high and away at the 1-0. 1-1 the count to Scott. Grounded to third, and then a 2-run single for Scott. Back in that 3-run third for the Skeeters. Nobody on base. 1 out, top of the 5th. Sugar Land leads York 4-0. Scott follows it straight back to the screen. 1-2 the count. Delwin Young is now 1 for 2 with a strikeout. A walk and a run after his quick return to the bench. And now Scott behind 1-2. Neal from the full wind, rocks back and deals, swung on and popped up foul right above our heads here in the box and out of play. That'll keep the count at 1-2. Neal's 1-2 on the way, laced up the foul line into the right field corner. Scott, a good pull job, and he'll be held to just a single. Nice play by Boggs to come to a slide over there in the corner and get in front of it before it could get to the wall. Gets it back along the infield to hold Scott to a 1-out single. Travis Scott is 12 for 47 now in 3 seasons against the Revolution. Played here in York in 2012, 13-14 in this season with the Skeeters. 12 for 47 against his former team with just 1 home run against York. So Revolution pitching over the last 2.5 seasons has kept him in check for the most part against his former club. Ball 1 low and inside to the right fielder Joe Benson. The righty struck out swinging in the second. An RBI double for him in the third, and I misspoke. I missed 1 K on Neal. His punch out of Delwin Young here in the 5th. That's his 5th of the night and the first looking. So 5 Ks for Neal. 1-0 pitch. Missing upstairs to Benson. 2-0 the count. Benson just a cup of coffee with the Minnesota Twins in his career. 21 games for the Twins in 2011. He hit .239 with a pair of RBI and a pair of stolen bases. His only big league time to date. 2-0 pitch missing low and away, and Neal losing him here. 3-0 is the count. Benson joined Sugar Land on the road here just today. Signed his contract with the Skeeters earlier this afternoon. Decent power numbers. Has 85 career home runs. Drafted by the Minnesota Twins in the 2nd round of the 2006 draft out of high school in Joliet, Illinois. So he's a high-round pick. But he gets turned loose on a 3-0. It's popped up and dropped at short by Wilson Valdez. My apologies for being behind the play. I thought it would be an easy squeeze for Wilson Valdez. And he drops it. Sugar Land, more than any other team in the Atlantic League, as Darrell Henry has mentioned before, puts the green light on 3-0 more than anybody. Benson had a 3-0 green light there, pops it up, no problem to short, and Wilson Valdez has it bounce off his glove. E6, and Benson is on base. The infield fly rule did apply, so the batter automatically out. So it'll go for 2 outs, even though a big groan up from the crowd despite the infield fly applicable. So runner at first, 2 outs, and a called strike to Johan LaMonta here, who then takes it and lines it into center, down in a hop in front of Wilkerson for a base hit. LaMonta is 2 for 3 now with a pair of singles. So first and second. So infield fly or not. Groans for a dropped pop-up. But no error applicable on the play. So Kevin Russo will now bat 0 for 2 with a pair of swinging strikeouts. 2 runners on, 2 outs here as Neal tries to get out of a bit of a jam here in the top of the 5th. It's 4-0 Skeeters. Top 5 out, hitting the Revolution 9-2. Called strike to Russo, the shortstop and 7-hole hitter tonight for the Skeeters. 2 gone, and Neal trying to strand 2 Skeeters. He stranded 2 in the 3rd, but only after the Skeeters scored 3 runs. Russo with a swing and a drive, fairly deep to the right field alley, but with a beat on it. Left field alley, Nick Ferdinand is there to make the play. So Russo flies out to Ferdinand, and Neal does indeed strand 2 runners after allowing a pair of singles in that inning. Also picked up his 5th strikeout. Revolution coming up bottom of the 5th, trailing 4-0 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Revolution!
Laser Show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
Waking up with the Zabe. The Steve Zabin Show.
When Mike Weir finally won the Masters as a lefty, it had broken like some 70-year stretch or something like that with no lefties winning. But since Mike Weir took the lid off lefties, 6 of the last 12 Masters tournaments have been won by southpaws. Behold, your stats of the day. Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Andres Perez, Luis de la Cruz, Brian Pounds. 6, 7, and 8 for the Revolution. Paul Braverman, glad you could join me for the middle innings here tonight. Big Wednesday night crowd at Santander Stadium in downtown York, PA. One more half inning. Darrell Henry will return in a moment. And ball 1 missing outside to Perez. Fielder's choice for him in the second. He's 0 for 1. Perez now with a Revolution all-time record, 87 doubles, 1-0 pitch, line to short, leaping and making the play is the former Yankee and Mud Hen, Kevin Russo. Perez has a hit taken away there. Just getting high enough was Russo. He may have snow-coned that. Climbing the ladder to get the Perez line drive. Nobody on, 1 away. It's a 4-0 Skeeters lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Luis de la Cruz is 0 for 1. He grounded to third in the second. The Revs catcher steps in, batting 7th tonight, and takes ball 1 inside. Just inside, Shane Lukes in his 5th inning of work for the Skeeters. With that line out, he puts his ERA under 3 at 2.99. Came in tonight at 3.16, so he's putting in some quality work on the earned run average. It's a 2-0 offering upcoming to Luis de la Cruz as Lukes misses low once again. The righty rocks back and deals. 2-0 offering, swing and a drive, fairly deep into the left field alley. Limo's there, however, backpedaling, and that's the second really nice play going back to the track by Johan Lamonta tonight against his former team. That was a little more routine, but hardly totally routine as De La Cruz flies out to left. First batter of the game, Lamonta took a sure double, maybe a triple away, with a fine play on Shannon Wilkerson deep in the gap. Brian Pounds with a double in the third. He was left at second, however. The righty steps in at third base tonight for the Revs. In his first game off the disabled list, he had not played since June 22nd with a meniscus sprain of the right knee. Back in there today, and he takes a called strike. Lukes, and it misses low and away. 1-1 is the count to Brian Pounds. 282 after his third inning double with 2 homers and 22 RBI. Lines 1 foul, just foul. A low liner right to the left of the bag, third base side. Count is 1-2 on Pounds. Pounds is still in the top 5 of the Atlantic League in walks with 32, despite missing a little more than a week with the knee injury. Here's the 1-1. Luke Steele swinging a pop foul. 1-2 is the count to Brian Pounds. Base is empty, 2 outs, 4-0 Skeeters here in the bottom of the 5th. Pounds, ooh, close. Hard to lay off, but he does lay off just outside. Count is 2-2. Shane Lukes, none too happy about that, but he will recollect himself for a 2-2 offering to the righty Brian Pounds, who takes it and lines it the other way, down for a hit, right field. Brian Pounds 2 for 2 in his return to the lineup tonight. The Revolution will try to get a 2-out rally going. Wilson Valdez grounded back to the pitcher in the 3rd. The Revolution shortstop will round out the York order for the 2nd time tonight. 3rd hit of the night. Brian Pounds has 2 of them for the Revs. Last year, Wilson Valdez, with his 55 stolen bases, was the first ever Rev to lead the Atlantic League in steals. And now, his 70th stolen base last weekend at home against Lancaster gave him the Revolution all-time franchise lead, edging out Scott Grimes, who needed 3 seasons, 2010 through 2012, for 69 steals to have the all-time franchise lead. And Wilson gets to 70 in just a season and a half. He takes ball 1 low from Shane Lukes. The righty resets, kicks and fires, swinging and a miss, jamming Valdez inside. 1-1 is the count to Wilson Valdez. 0 for 4 yesterday, but scored a run. 1 for 7 in this series is Valdez. He's 4 for 19 on this homestand. From the stretch, Luke steals and a chopper to second. Moving toward the bag, fielding it on the run is Adams. He pauses and has time to throw Valdez out at first, and that's the inning. The Revolution strand a 2-out Brian Pounds single, and we go to the 6th. Sugarland leads it 4-0 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
And now a baseball tutorial from Maple Donuts.
The single.
Grabbing your favorite maple donut for breakfast.
The double.
Grabbing an extra maple donut for later.
The brush back.
Brushing the white off your shirt after biting into a fresh powdered sugar maple donut.
The ground rule double.
Quickly retrieving the 2 maple donut holes that got away.
What? 5-second rule. Charlie Donut and the Boys of Summer have a winning lineup waiting for you right now at Maple Donuts. Pick up a fresh hot cup of Maple Donuts famous coffee and one of Charlie Donut's 58 varieties. The perfect double play combination.
The steal.
Opening the box only to discover that someone stole your favorite maple donut.
Hey.
The home run.
Showing up at work with a Maple Donuts Baker's Dozen.
Maple Donuts taste right with the tasty bread. Anytime, day or night, for appetite delight. Maple Donuts taste right.
Revolution!
Laser show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 6th, the 4-0 Sugarland lead. Matt Neal's first pitch of the inning is down and away on Chris Wallace, who leads things off. Tonight, 1 for 2 he is. The 1-0 is down and outside. He singled, stole a base, and scored in the 4th inning to make it 4-0. Skeeters a run in the 4th after scoring 3 in the 3rd. The 2-0, and that's over for a strike, a cutter. Revs had Frank Gailey up in the pen last inning. Neal will start the inning, though. Just threw his 90th pitch. He deals, and it's tapped foul, third base side. I looked sharp early, but the one big inning in the third primarily has him trailing tonight, and it came on a 2-out rally. Had the first 2 outs in the inning. He fires, and a called third strike nails De La Cruz's glove on the outside corner. And Neal with his 6th strikeout of the night, which ties his season high, along with 6 strikeouts that he notched in relief on opening night. One away. Here's Amadeo Zazueta. Zazueta ground out and a deep fly out to center. First pitch is up and in. Neal, the last 3 starts combined, 15 earned in 16 2/3 innings currently, as he misses inside 2-0. The previous 4 starts, he had allowed 3 earned or fewer in all 4. 1-1 with a 2.67 ERA on that stretch, as he comes back with a cutter for a strike. 2-1. That includes the combined shutout on June 16th. Pitch to Zazueta is lined to center. Wilkerson in, and it'll hang up for him. As the Revs center fielder squeezes it for out number 2. Back to the top of the Sugarland order, and Denny Almonte. Almonte 2 for 3, an RBI double, a single, and a run, after being struck out as the K-man to begin the night. And he swings here, bounces one foul off the plate. Down to David McDaniel coaching at first base. Almonte 0 for 5 last night in their 17-hit attack, but 2 hits tonight. And he swings here and bounces a foul down to McDaniel again at first. All the fans on that side trying to get his attention. He'll make a friend, a youngster in the front row. Neal the wind and the 0-2, and that's in the dirt. Almonte has indeed stated that he's given up switch hitting for now anyway. And we first saw that the other night when he faced Logan Williamson from the left side of the plate. Neal back to the windup, the 1-2, and a curveball popped up foul. De La Cruz hustles over, third base side, he slides and it lands and bounces up into the stands. And he stays seated for a moment to gather himself, sliding over by the third base on deck area. Slide to give himself a chance to get low and make the play, but also to protect himself heading toward all the obstacles over there. Next one is high and away. It's 2-2. Neal now over 100 pitches on the night. Here comes number 103, and it misses down and in, a full count. Command-wise, maybe he hasn't been as sharp as normal tonight. You walk back-to-back hitters in the third, and for his career, averages less than 2 walks per 9 innings. Full count here, and the pitch is foul-tipped, straight to the backstop. Threw him a 3-2 slider that Almonte fouls off. Fiddles for the grip, and he's got it. Kicks and fires, and a swing and a miss. Fires a fastball past him and works a 1-2-3 6th inning. His final 2 innings are scoreless. Retires the final 4 that he faces. Season high 7 strikeouts on the night. We go to the bottom of the 6th, though. Revs trying to get the offense involved in this when they trail 4-0.
Broadway Transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They towed in my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man. I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Revolution!
Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th.
Revolution!
On air, online, and on your smartphone. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Bottom half of the sixth inning, Revs trail 4-0. Shannon Wilkerson coming up, looking to get things started. Revs have been held to 3 hits through the first 5 tonight. And Shane Luke's first pitch of the inning is bounced right back to him. He gloves it, fires to first, and there's one away as he fields another comebacker, his second of the night. Wilkerson, who almost began this game with a leadoff home run in the first inning, or at least an extra base hit, has now been held hitless in his 3 ABs total. But a near miss right out of the gates, and the Revs still trying to get something going against Luke's. Here's Eric Patterson. And the first pitch is over the outer half, a called strike. Patterson a pop-up and a strikeout tonight. And Luke's just went over 60 pitches as he misses down and away. I believe he was at 58 through 5 innings. That is not bad. Here's a swing and a fly ball to left. Lamont trotting toward the line, and he is there and makes the grab. And very quickly, 2 up, 2 down. We'll bring up Nick Ferdinand. By the way, our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest tonight. Contestant here this evening is Sharon Holland. Sharon, good luck. If the Revs hit a home run, you would win a prize pack from our friends at Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, and from the team and from the station. Here's Nick Ferdinand, who takes outside. He has grounded out and struck out tonight. 4-0 Sugarland here in the 6th. And Luke's back with a fastball for a called strike. It's got some late tail on it. Some late run, sinking action. Doesn't throw overly hard at this stage. And a curveball here is hit on one hop to short. Russo spears it and fires to first in a speedy 1-2-3 6th inning for Shane Lukes. He has worked at quite the pace throughout the night, and a very quick 6th inning. Frank Gailey is coming in as we head to the 7th. Revs still trail 4-0.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Solomon & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Savory's Funnel Cakes have brought their delicious funnel cakes from the York Fair to Santander Stadium. Be sure to visit their stand on the third base concourse near the Hop Corner, as they offer both regular and pumpkin funnel cakes. Also, be sure to check out Savory's Funnel Cake Eating Challenge played between innings during York Evolution home games. They also offer event catering. Give Savory's a call at 717-271-3485. That's 717-271-3485. Savory's Funnel Cakes, York's delicious delicacy for all to enjoy.
The radio home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Heading to the seventh, a 4-0 Sugarland lead. Left-hander Frank Gailey will come on. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Mace has hinted that Gailey might be a spot starter for the team on Sunday in the final day of the first half with Anthony LaRue's unfortunate injury. He'll come in relief tonight, and Ryan Adams swinging first pitch. Skies one to shallow center. And Wilkerson is in to make the catch. A one-pitch out. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Well, one down here in the top of the seventh. Delwyn Young, the hitter. And Gailey missing away on the first offering. Matt Neal tonight, 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs. Second straight start that he gives up 4 in 6. Here's a swing and a fly ball, left center. Wilkerson was fairly deep. He'll move slightly toward left center and make the catch as he's got the first 2 putouts here in the seventh. And Young now 1 for 3 on the night. 2 outs on 3 pitches for Gailey. He'll face Travis Scott up next. Neal with 2 walks, a season-high 7 strikeouts. 105 pitches, 65 strikes. And for the most part, that one rough 2-out stretch. In fact, all 4 runs came with 2 outs as Gailey misses outside on Scott, who tonight is 2 for 3. So is Lamonta, the 2 former Revs. The 1-0. And a fastball narrowly missed, a little low. Scott drove in 2 in the 3rd inning on a looper that Boggs slid for and right, but unable to get there before it landed just in front of him. Here's a swing and a pop-up, foul ground at third. Pounds is over. Plenty of room and squeezes it. And that'll end the inning. A 1-2-3 top of the 7th for Frank Gailey. And he makes short order of that half inning. 7th inning stretch. Revs trail the Skeeters 4-0.
Core Design Group, a local architectural and structural engineering firm, is celebrating 10 years of serving its partners in York County and beyond. Core specializes in commercial, healthcare, houses of worship, industrial, higher education, and residential. For more information, visit our new website at www.core-designgroup.com or call 717-741-2046.
Looking for something cool to do this weekend? Looking for a different kind of family fun? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Get on the ice with your friends for Rock and Skate. The last Friday of each month. Every Wednesday is family night with free skate rentals for the whole family. And remember, the coolest place in town is also available for the coolest birthday party in town. For party package prices and public skating times, check out YorkSkate.com. Want to learn to skate? Want to suit up and learn how to play some hockey? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Learn to skate programs are now available for all ages, for every skating ability. Class levels range from beginner to freestyle, where you'll learn basic jumps, spins, and footwork. And skating rental is included. Or get on the ice for York Ice Arena hockey programs, taught by Ice Arena coaches. Boys and girls can learn proper techniques for the game. Rental equipment is available. Group skating lessons and beginner hockey programs are forming now. Plus, York City residents get a 50% discount. Register today. Go to YorkSkate.com.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Bottom half of the seventh, a 4-0 Sugarland lead. Revs held to 3 hits through 6. Brian Pounds has 2 of those in his return to the lineup tonight. Shane Lukes at just 66 pitches through 6 innings. Has not walked any. He's given up just 3 hits. The Calderon, Boggs, and Perez due up. Take a look at our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. And a day-night doubleheader today at Southern Maryland at Bridgeport. The Blue Crabs winning the first one 7-2. They are scoreless in the 4th inning in Game 2. Southern Maryland, with that Game 1 win, did clinch a Freedom Division first half title. By the way, I beg your pardon, it's right-hander Derek Blacksher who takes over now as we go to the 7th. Had not noticed him come in between innings, but a pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Lukes goes 6. And an extremely efficient 6 innings as we were detailing. But elsewhere in the league tonight, bottom of the 4th inning, Lancaster and Long Island tied at 3 in Central Islip. Bottom of the 4th inning, Camden leads Somerset 1-0 at Campbell's Field. Lancaster and Long Island. Last night, the Barnstormers came back to take a 2-1 lead in the 9th and then gave it up and lost 3-2 on a 2-out waddle-off single by Randy Ruiz, who won it for Long Island. Jacob Calderon up first, and Blacksher's first pitch is dribbled foul over toward Brandon Boggs, who will hit next. Bat Boy got to it before he could. Calderon's got the other hit tonight, a second inning single. He's 1 for 2. As we mentioned, Pounds with 2 of the 3 hits. Here's the 0-1, and that misses down low. Shane Lukes, 6 scoreless innings, just 3 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. 1-1. And it misses just outside. 66 pitches, 44 for strikes. Two 2-1. That's down and away. Blacksher 2-2, a 1.88 ERA in 15 outings. He's made 5 starts for them as well. Fires home, and Calderon fouls one off his foot and goes hopping out away from home plate, using his bat like a cane. Walking it off, he'll take a moment and squat as he gets back to the home plate circle. Chong on the top step. Calderon will make his way back in. Now the 3-2. And he swings and fouls it back. High fastball. He hangs in there. Blacksher 38 in a third innings, 30 hits. Opponents hitting just 216. 11 walks, 27 strikeouts. Another 3-2. And a swing and a fly ball the other way in left. Lamonta drifting onto the track, and he's got room in front of the manual scoreboard in left. Calderon driving it deep to the opposite field this time, but flies out. One down, Brandon Boggs to the plate. Boggs tonight, a pop-up and a line-out. Lined out in center field. Ball that was hit pretty hard. First pitch from Blacksher is over for a strike. Blacksher is a starter, 1-2 with a 2.29 ERA. In relief, 1-0 with a 1.45. As Boggs swings here and lifts one to shallow right center, and Joe Benson, the new right fielder, sprints in and runs it down. And too quickly retired as Blacksher got in on him there. Former pitcher of the year in the American Association back in 2009. With 2 away, he'll face Andres Perez. Mention how Blacksher has done both starting and relieving this season. One more out, and he will have the same number of innings in each role as Perez checks his swing and loops a foul that bounces off the roof of the Revs dugout. Lands a few rows in. Perez 0 for 2 tonight. Fielder's choice and a line out. The 0-1, and it misses down low. Blacksher will be at 19 2/3 innings, starting and relieving once he finishes the inning. 1-1, and a swing and a miss, a slider from the righty. Pitch, and he pulls it along the line at third and fair, right past the bag. This will roll to the left field corner, and Perez hustles into second. He'll round it. Lamonta late to get over and get a grip on it and throw in, but down 4, you're not going to push the limit for an extra base. But with that hit, Andres Perez ties Scott Grimes for the second most in a career in Revs history. 374th hit, all-time with York. Ties Grimes for second. He's now 10 away from topping James Shank's all-time mark. Adds to his team record 88th double. 131st extra base hit. Here's Luis De La Cruz, who bounces a foul down towards Sugarland's bullpen. The Revs had a leadoff double from Pounds in the third inning, but were unable to score him. Their 4th hit tonight, their second double. The 0-1, and a swing and a pop foul back and out of play. As that bounces down amongst the fans behind the York dugout. Mace went for cover. That hit the light pole up top and came crashing down. Blacksher stretches the 0-2, and it's a fastball off the plate away. Skeeters lead it 4-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2. And a ground ball the other way. Base hit to right. Sending Perez. Benson is up throwing, and Perez slides in. Shutout broken up. Luis De La Cruz, the RBI single to right. And it's a 4-1 game here in the 7th. And a nice piece of hitting. He sat back and slapped it the other way. And why not? They tried it against Benson's arm on his first attempt. And Perez, who runs well, slid in just as the throw was getting there. Slid into the shin guard of Wallace a bit, moving the catcher's leg out of the way. Here's Brian Pounds, who swings and misses on a slider. The back-to-back 2-out hits. Every run in this game has scored with 2 outs. Pounds tonight, a double and a single. And the 0-1 swung on and fouled it back against the top of the net. They probably got him back sooner than they anticipated. He had gotten hurt twisting out of the way of a pitch in near his face in Lancaster back on June 22nd, last Monday. Basically missed a week. The Revs were rained out last Tuesday. It was the 0-2, and that misses down in the dirt. Blackshear's ERA jumping above 2 with that run given up. 188 coming in, now up to 208. Pitch 2 Pounds and a swing and a miss. A foul tip squeezed on a slider. And that'll end the inning. The Revs do break up the shutout, though. Perez doubles to keep the inning alive and scores on De La Cruz single. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left. We go to the 8th tonight. It's the Skeeters 4 and the Revs 1.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. With a full spectrum of care, including sports nutrition, concussion management, orthopedic surgery, and physical therapy, our winning team can help you prevent an injury or treat one. For immediate care, call 1-877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
Revolution!
Laser Show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
He's a great, great man. Was Muhammad Ali a thug? He was colorful, controversial. But this is a guy who did something before anybody else did it. And we were okay with it. A lot of us were okay because of how Ali looked. Handsome, well-spoken, and poetry. There was charisma to it. Richard Sherman just came out of a game and started yelling right in our face.
Dan Patrick on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Four to 1 is our score. Revs on the board. We go to the top of the 8th. Frank Gailey stays in. And his first pitch to Joe Benson is outside. Worked a 1-2-3 7th inning on 6 pitches. And the 1-0. That is over for a strike. He is the early candidate to make the spot start on Sunday. 1-1. And a swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. So I'm sure using him for multiple innings here tonight would not hurt. And he has gone multiple innings on a couple of occasions already. Pitch here is pulled foul past Gary Gaetti, who jumps over it in the third base coach's box. Well, if you weren't with us earlier, just difficult news earlier today. Found out this morning that Anthony LaRue had tripped at home last night, fell and broke 2 bones in his leg, had surgery earlier today. Here's a called third strike. Gailey paints the outside corner, and Benson is rung up 1 away here in the top of the 8th. So LaRue will be lost for the remainder of the season. Certainly a guy the Revs were counting on in the second half rotation. Here's Johan Lamonte and Gailey with a curveball. It's over for a called strike. Lamonte 2 for 3 tonight, 6 for 11 in this series. The 0-1, and he swings and dribbles a foul over toward the York dugout. Mentioned how they told him when he got to Sugar Land, just take a breath. You're starting over new. You're not carrying the average that you have with York. Hopefully the Revs can do the same thing when the second half begins. Here's a liner to right center. He's got another hit. And over is Boggs to barehand it from right. He'll stare him down and fire in, holding him to a single. He's got back-to-back 3-hit games. 3 for 4 tonight, after going 3 for 5 last night. 7 for 12 in this series. Had a feeling he would come in and be highly motivated. Here's Kevin Russo, who takes outside on a changeup. Russo 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Here's the 1-0. And this one pulled on the ground at short and under the glove of Valdez. And into left center, and it's first and second. With still only 1 out, he pulled up, looking to flip to second and have a chance to turn 2 before he had it. Looked like he didn't even touch it. Went right under the glove, right through the legs. It'll be the first error of the game on either team. It had been a clean defensive game until that point. Here's Chris Wallace. And he foul tips one back to the backstop. Like we were saying, hopefully the Revs can mentally do the same thing that Lamonte has done and flush everything that had happened previously, get rid of that baggage, a complete start over, a new season, as Gailey misses inside. By the way, the attendance announced tonight, 5,689, the second largest crowd of the year. The second time in 4 days that had 5,600, 5,700. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, 1-2. Gailey sets and delivers. And a swing and a miss. Went down low and got him off speed as Wallace swings over top of it. De La Cruz, a clean pick. And that's out number 2. Here is Amadeo Zazueta. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Gailey the pitch is just inside for ball 1. 4-1, Sugarland the lead here in the 8th. Gailey deals, and that's over for a strike. 1-1. And he swings and yanks a deep drive, but way foul. Out over a full section of end seats and left. It's 1-2. Gailey looking for a pair of scoreless innings here. And to the plate. And a swing and a miss. Or was it foul tip? They're going to say a foul tip that ricocheted off De La Cruz's shin guards and halfway up the third baseline. Gailey came racing over. Have you ever seen a strikeout throw out 1-3? Had it not been a foul tip, we could have had one there. I don't believe I've ever seen that. Gailey the pitch, and a swing and a pop fly lifted to shallow left. Ferdinand coming over toward the line, and he's got it. And the inning's over. The Frank Gailey, 2 scoreless. He works around a hit and an error here in the top of the 8th, and has now allowed no earned runs in 8 innings in 5 outings since joining the team. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th tonight, 4-1, Sugar Land in front.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Revolution!
Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th.
Revolution!
The Revolution plays here. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the 8th, the 4-1 Sugarland lead. Wilson Valdez to lead things off. Skeeters with right-hander Andrew Johnston in the game as they make another Maple Donuts call to the bullpen. Blacksher goes 1 inning. Now Johnston on here in the 8th. Valdez tonight, 2 groundouts. First pitch is over for a strike. Valdez coming in, had hit safely in 8 of 9 games before last night. He was held hitless last night and 0 for 2 tonight. It's the 0-1. And he slaps it on the ground. Scott goes to a knee to knock it down, playing up at first base, and he takes it to the bag himself. 1 away. And back to the top of the order, and Shannon Wilkerson. Johnston 1-0 with a 3.04 ERA in 25 outings. Former Camden River Shark works out of the stretch, the 6'7" righty. And he fires an overhand fastball strike. Wilkerson tonight 0 for 3. He came just short of leading off the first with a home run. 0-1. And a check swing. It's a called strike on the outside corner. The 0-2. And he swings and lines it to right center, and now he's got a hit. They will chase this one up the gap. Wilkerson to second, and he'll pull in there as Benson throws in. Shannon Wilkerson, a one-out double the other way. He was denied earlier tonight of extra bases. He's got one here. Revs with their 6th hit. Half of them have been doubles. Here is Eric Patterson, who tonight is 0 for 3, following a 3-hit game last night. Johnston with the pitch, and it's high and away. Ball 1. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Sugar Land. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for York. 1-0 pitch, and a swing and a miss. He got Patterson to chase in the dirt. Getting to that dusk time of evening here tonight. 1-1. And he swings and fouls it off, third base side. That lands on the concourse and looks like it bounced right across it and maybe down toward Arch Street. 1-2. Johnston ready, and the pitch. And it just missed away. Good eye from Patterson. Tomorrow night, our laser show night, presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. Rami Lewis facing Sean Gallagher tomorrow night. We'll have a Rami's rant on the pregame. 2-2. And a ground ball to first base. Scott drops to his knees again to stay on top of it. Flips to the pitcher covering. Wilkerson goes to third base with 2 outs. Nick Ferdinand coming up. Ferdinand tonight, 2 ground outs, a strikeout. He is hit safely in 21 of 26 games with York. First pitch here is over for a strike, a cutter. Another big night tomorrow, the laser show, as we mentioned. Final home game of the first half, and sure people excited to turn the page as Ferdinand bounces. Whoa, it hit the lip and shot low and into left. And Wilkerson in to score. This team catches a rare break. It's 4-2. It'll be a base hit for Ferdinand, who's now hit safely in 22 of 27 games with York. He bounced it to third. It hit the lip of the grass, stayed low, under Zazweta's glove, and into left. It's an RBI single, and Wilkerson comes home on it. And a tying run. Jacob Calderon will come to the plate. Gary Gaetti, though, will call on one of his many lefties to face him. As Johnston is lifted, Blacksher gives up a run. Johnston does as well. And a pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Here before Calderon bats, he's homered each of the last 2 nights. And he'll bat here as the tying run. Well, late in the game, you want to at least try to get the tying run to the plate and have a chance, and they've managed to do that. New pitcher is left-hander Derek Loop. Maple Donuts called to the bullpen. So tomorrow night, Laser Show presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. Also, the Revolution Camo Koozie giveaway presented by Centric Business Systems. That goes to the first 1,000 fans. It'll fit nicely around that beverage can. Tickets on sale at YorkRevolution.com, 717-801-HIT. Send it to the Apple Chevrolet ticket office. And then the Revs will finish the first half in Bridgeport. They'll be back home next Friday, July 10th, to host Lancaster. It's the start of a 7-game homestand. The Skeeters will come in for 4 more at the back end of that homestand, and then we won't see them again the rest of the year. I mean, that's another another reason why this. I mean, you can't look at, you have to beat who you play, but another thing about this first half is the Revs have been loaded with games against a team that they've historically really struggled with, not just this year. 16 games against Sugar Land in the first half. Only 4 in the second half. They've hadn't seen Bridgeport until last week, and Bridgeport's got the next worst record, so just all kinds of things that have added up to a frustrating couple of months, but still better than 2.5 months to go. Pitch to Calderon is chopped toward first and foul. He's up there swinging, and he bounces it off a bullpen seat. Got a first pitch curve from Loop. Calderon 1 for 3 tonight. Revs trail 4-2 here in the 8th. Ferdinand at first with 2 outs. And a move to first base. Ferdinand back standing. Derek Loop out of their bullpen, 2-0 with an ERA of 2 in 28 games, 4 saves. Opponents hitting 181. The 0-1, and he scrapes a foul over toward the third base on deck area. Left-hand hitters have gone 3 for 40 off Derek Loop. His total dominance. Now the lefty set. 0-2. And that's in the dirt as Wallace blocks it. Loop at one point this year, 29 straight hitters retired. 34 straight without allowing a hit, spanning 11 1/3 innings. And he leans into his throw to first. Ferdinand read it, falling toward the side of the mound as he threw over. One and 2 on Calderon. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. And he slaps one foul down the line at third. He sat back on it. Fastball at 89 and slapped it the other way. Now Loop the stretch. Another 1-2. And he tried to check on a breaking ball low. And held off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Twilight of the evening here at the ballpark. Revs trying to rally. The 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Got him on a slider. And that'll end the inning. Revs bring the tying run to the plate. They get 1 run closer. 2 hits in the inning, 1 runner left. They'll have to try to complete a comeback in the 9th tonight. And we go to the 9th inning. It's the Skeeters 4, the Revs 2.
Remember when the goal was to see how fast you could run home from school, play 99 straight innings of wiffle ball, or jump up onto anything? At WellSpan Health, we think making time to play is still a great goal. Being healthy is how you get there. And just in case your grown-up body can't keep up with your inner child, WellSpan Orthopedics walk-in injury care is there to help with a team specially trained in treating sprains, strains, and broken bones. If you have a WellSpan primary care physician, your visit is added to your electronic health record so your doctor may coordinate any follow-up care. You never need an appointment, and both our Apple Hill location in York and our new Hanover Orthopedics location are open evenings and weekends. You can get all the details about orthopedic walk-in injury care at wellspan.org/injury. At WellSpan Health, it's our goal to help you get healthy and stay healthy, no matter how old you are or how young you feel.
Summer is about taking time for what really matters. Spending time with the family, enjoying nature's beauty, having a healthy lawn you can be proud of, plus the time to enjoy it. With Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, you get world-class environmentally responsible lawn care from a hometown team. The result is a vibrant, beautiful lawn that turns heads and boosts curb appeal. Visit us at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Your home for Revolution Baseball. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the ninth, right-hander Tony Pena will make his Revolution debut, and we notice that he has a bright red glove. I wonder if that's from his time with the Diamondbacks. That's who he came up with. Big league veteran, second in Diamondbacks franchise history and career holds, behind only Brandon Lyon, and also pitched in the majors with the White Sox. 2006 to 2011 in the big leagues. Denny Almonte to lead off. Pena's first pitch with York is swung on and tipped foul behind the plate. Fastball at 89. Known for a good slider as well. And just signed earlier today. One of 3 transactions today. As Pena looks in, he's set, he fires. And it misses high and away at 91. Revs have now made 64 transactions this season. He's the 44th player to suit up, 43rd to get into a game. And fires, and a swing and a pop foul out of play. Third base side. That was on the slider, 1-2. Revs used 45 players all of last year. They are within 2 of that. Pena the wind and the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Got him on a slider down low. And a strikeout to begin his time in York. 1 away here in the top of the 9th. Made quick work of Almonte, and he shows off that slider. Well, welcome to York. He begins his Revs career with a K. Here's Ryan Adams, who's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run. And Pena with the pitch. A check swing, and on a slider down, they appeal to first, and Adams did offer at it. No balls and a strike. The Revs only with 9 players who have been active for every game since the start of the season. Pena, newcomer, added to the bullpen today. Manzanillo had retired a couple of days ago. The 0-1. And a fastball just outside. Adams started again but stopped. Take a look at our WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report here tonight in a moment. As Pena is ready again and has his sign. Out of the windup he goes. And a swing and a miss. Another good slider. Well, the Revs get Brian Pounds back today, but as we mentioned, Anthony LaRue goes off. Joins Brad Bergeson and Ian Durham as season-ending injuries. Mikey Reynolds also inactive and getting closer to returning. Wellspan Sports Medicine Injury Report. 1-2, and a swing and a bounce foul down toward the Skeeters dugout. I had gotten the message this morning about LaRue's injury, and I just sat there staring at it. Hard to believe. The bad fortune and certainly an unfortunate mishap there. It was a fastball just outside, 2-2. If you weren't with us earlier, we found out this morning that LaRue had evidently tripped at home last night, fell and suffered a couple of broken bones in his leg and had surgery today. His season, unfortunately, is over. The Revs, through this game, will have had 214 man games inactive due to injury, not counting players who've been active but unavailable to play. 2-2, and it's tap foul against the plate. Skips over along the third base side. A total of 11 players have been inactive due to injury at some point, and LaRue makes the third season-ending injury. Kyle Heckathorn exited. He wasn't injured, but he went home to revamp his mechanics after an injury at the beginning of the year. Another 2-2, and a called third strike. Fastball in, and Adams is punched out, and he's got some words. But Tony Pena strikes out his first two batters faced to begin his Revs career. Almonte swinging on the slider, and Adams looking on the fastball. 2 away, here is Delwyn Young. Tonight is 1 for 3. A walk and a run scored back in the third inning. And Pena with the pitch. And a swing and a foul back. And out of play. Pena last year in the Mexican League had 27 saves for Laguna. Young backs out. He was a late inning guy for the Diamondbacks in the big leagues, then kind of a long reliever for the White Sox when he was there. Now the 0-1 fastball just missed away. Made his big league debut at age 24 in 2006. 313 at big league appearances. 1-1. And a swing and a high fly ball in center. Wilkerson reading it. And back a few steps. He's there and puts it away. Fairly deep in center, but plenty of room. And it's a 1-2-3, top of the ninth. Welcome to York as Tony Pena has an impressive Revs debut. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Revs looking to continue their push back in this when it's their last chance, trailing 4-2.
Tennis used to be a very polite game. Today, tennis raises a racket.
Flying feet.
The style, the play, and the players are intense, athletic, and hard-charging. Flying Feet Sports Shoes welcomes the evolution of tennis and its battling players with a full line of specialty tennis shoes worthy of the new game. These aren't stand-around-look-pretty shoes. These are co-conspirators for the court. Shoes that will endure opponent after opponent, match after match. Shoes that move when and how you move and stop at your command. Shoes that fit and feel good so your feet are ready and able to take that next set. Flying Feet's team includes Asics, New Balance, Wilson, and K-Swiss in widths that fit. And the Flying Feet staff is always on the sidelines ready to help with your selection. Tennis, it's a whole new game. Be prepared to play it well.
Flying feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes, just off exit 18 of I-83, right behind Domino's in York.
Revolution!
Laser Show.
That's right, it's almost laser show time at Santander Stadium. After the game on July 2nd, stick to your seat for a jaw-dropping laser display presented by Wilkie Ingenuity. We're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future on July 2nd, so come on out and see a real DeLorean. The first 1,000 fans will also receive a free camo koozie for the holiday weekend, courtesy of Centric Business Systems. See you at the Revolution game on July 2nd.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Hi, this is Eric Patterson. You're listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs, Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the ninth, Revs trail 4-2. Brandon Boggs to lead off. Derek Loop stays in. 5,689 on hand here tonight. Second largest crowd of the year, and the Revs trying to come back in front of them as Boggs takes inside on a cutter from Loop to begin the inning. He'll be followed by Perez and De La Cruz. Sugarland's got a right-hander loosening as well. And the 1-0. That is over for a strike. Another cutter from the lefty. It'll be interesting if the tying run comes to the plate. Would Mace go to Talvin Nash, who was not in the lineup tonight, a little tight after some of the splits and slides last night. A fastball just outside, 2-1. They played it cautiously with him tonight. Didn't start him, but I did see him bring his glove and his bat down to the dugout before the game. Now Loop with the 2-1 and a swing and a high pop-up. The twilight time of night. The catcher, third baseman, and did they make the play? Wallace and Zazueta, one of them did. They both went to the ground, and Wallace hung on to it, falling over the third baseman, Zazueta. They both collapsed. They were laid there on the ground staring at one another, trying to comprehend what just happened, and an apparent communication mishap. But Wallace makes the play at the most difficult time of night for a pop-up. I couldn't see it airborne once it went up, but Wallace did. And one away here in the bottom of the ninth. Bring up Andres Perez, who's 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. Tied Scott Grimes for second in Revs' career hits his last time up with that double as Loop misses high and away. Well, they are either waiting to bring on the righty until the tying run hits, if it happens, or if the Revs would go to Nash. They have a righty waiting for him. There's a slider that's over for a strike. 1-1 on Perez. The double in the seventh came with 2 outs, nobody on. That allowed De La Cruz to then drive him in, breaking up the shutout. Pitch. And he swings, rips one the other way, base hit to right. Adams, the second baseman, dove for it. It was just out of his reach. And Perez is on. He moves past Scott Grimes for second in Revs history in hits, number 375. And Luis De La Cruz coming up. He will represent the tying run. Ryan Pounds follows him. Gary Gaetti will stay with Loop. De La Cruz is 1 for 3. Drove in Perez on a 7th inning single. On the stretch, first pitch, it's taken down low. We mentioned how lefties against Loop are just 3 for 40. It's unbelievable. Right-hand hitters are batting .259 off him. The 1-0. And that misses high. I mentioned the possibility of using Nash if the situation called for it. But it sounds strange to say, even the way the Revs have struggled this season, who would he bat for? As Loop throws over, Perez back standing. There's a lot of guys in this lineup that you really like what they bring to the table, even though as a whole it hasn't clicked the first 2 months. Throw to first! And just diving back was Perez. He was leaning slightly towards second, trying to get a little more. He didn't think Loop was coming his way. And thank goodness he was able to dive back. The last thing they would need at this point. Here's the stretch, and Loop will fake a toss over as he stepped off. Now the left-hander ready. And the 2-0. It's down and in. If you're thinking game-tying shot, Loop has not allowed a home run this season. De La Cruz, though, works it to 3-0. If he gets on, Brian Pounds comes up as the winning run. 3-0 pitch. He fakes a bunt. It's way outside and high. And the tying run is now on base. And Brian Pounds to the plate, representing the winning run. And Gary Gaetti will go to his bullpen now. Loop at times this season has been untouchable. But Perez, a one-out single. De La Cruz follows with the walk, and that'll force Sugarland's hand and force Loop from the game. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. With a right-hander coming in, it looks like John Luan with the winning run at the plate and 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. 4-2 is our score. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. It is Luan who will take over. And as he makes his way in, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Well, the Revs have certainly given these 5,689 something to get excited about here late in this one, hoping for them to pull off basically the way the game had gone, a miraculous comeback. They had done nothing through 6 innings, got 1 back in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and they have the tying runs on base and the winning run at the plate. Starlin Rodriguez is going to pinch run for Luis De La Cruz, representing the tying run. And Brian Pounds tonight, 2 for 3 with a double. If he can shoot another one to the gap, Rodriguez the tying run. Certainly you would expect Sugarland to play deep in the outfield, trying to cut anything off in that regard. One of the Revs' 3 walk-off wins did come against Sugarland just less than a month ago when Nick Ferdinand made his incredible debut. So Luan ready to go. He is in his 29th game, 7 saves, 4-3 with a 4.40 ERA. And looks like he's basically it for Sugarland. Nobody up behind him. And Brian Pounds digs in 2 for 3 with a double in his return tonight. And Luan set. First pitch is right there for a strike. As Pounds wanted to see one and force him to throw strike one. Now Luan ready. And the 0-1 swung on and foul tipped over toward Valdez, who's on deck. Right into the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes. Opponents have hit 271 off Luan this season. He's held righties to under 200, 192. Lefties at 425. Stretch. And the 0-2. Strike 3 called. A fastball on the outside corner at the knees. A perfect spot. And Pounds frozen. It could not have been a more perfect place. Right on the corner. And Luan with a huge strikeout for out number 2. Wilson Valdez will try to keep the game alive for the top of the order. He is 0 for 3 with 3 ground outs tonight. Hitless the last 2 games. Before that, he'd hit safely in 8 of the previous 9. And the first pitch, swung on, line to right field. Coming in is Benson. It hangs up for him. He's right there to make the catch, and this game's over. Valdez hit it hard, a line drive, but of course, it's right at the right fielder. And that'll end it as the Revs put the tying run on base and mount a comeback bid late in this one, but fall to the Skeeters by a final score of 4-2. The back-to-back wins followed by back-to-back defeats, and tomorrow night they will try to salvage a split in this series against Sugar Land. John Luan is 8th save of the year. Valdez hit it hard, and of course, the way the first half's gone, it has to be right at somebody. Couldn't have been in a gap or down the line somewhere. And Benson there to catch it and finish things off. 4-2 is the final tonight. Stay tuned. Post-game show follows next.
Hi, this is